I've been raised only by strong women. अगर एक रिलेशनशिप में कोई मुझसे कहे कि तुम ये नहीं कर सकती हो या ये नहीं पहन सकती हो, I am like, who are you to tell me? My mother father have not told me this till today. When women stick together, there is absolutely nothing more powerful than that. I was at a really shitty point in my life and I remember just saying, I'm done with this, I just want to be happy now. I said, I'm just done. I'm a huge feminist. I think anyone that says that they're not a feminist doesn't understand the concept of feminism wholly.
Hi Alaya, welcome to the Male Feminist. How are you?
Hi, I'm very, very good. Exhausted, but in the best way ever.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks.
Being busy is very, very good.
Yes.
But you're the youngest on our show, you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing, no?
who's the second youngest?
Yeah, that I'll have to figure.
Yeah. I'm curious. I was like,
Out
what's
of
the
syllabus
age gap?
question, aaya. Out of
Yeah,
syllabus question. But the way you stand up for women or you had the whole tribe going, I love it. I've always loved that.
Thank you.
In fact, जो लोगों को नहीं दिख रहा है वो इनके कैमरे के पीछे की 3 औरतें हैं जो इन्हें देख रही हैं बहुत जरूरी तरीके से. इनकी टीम है बहुत स्ट्रांगली खड़ी हुई.
Yes.
So I love that. तो यार देखो मेल फेमिनिस्ट में ना हम लोगों ने 3 फेजेस में ब्रॉडली डिवाइड किया सब कुछ. तो बचपन से बात करते हैं. बचपन में कैसा माहौल था आपकी जिंदगी में घर का?
I've been raised only by strong women.
Yeah.
मेरी नानी, मेरी मम्मी, मेरी नैनी जो थी, बेनी जो है rather, अभी मेरी नैनी नहीं है, but she's around. बेनी, you know, generally मेरा भाई बहुत कंप्लेन करता था क्योंकि वो एक्चुअली काफ़ी इंट्रोवर्टेड है या इंट्रोवर्टेड था और हम बहुत टाइम से कहते थे कि यू नो उमार ज़्यादा बात नहीं करता है, यू नो उमार यू शुड बी मोर टॉकेटिव, यू शुड बी मोर व्हाटएवर. ही वाज लाइक कोई बात करने का चांस ही नहीं देता इस घर में तो मैं कैसे बात करूं, मैं एक्सट्रोवर्टेड कैसे बनूं. ही इज लाइक ऑल दीस वुमेन आर टॉकिंग नॉन स्टॉप, स्ट्रॉन्ग ओपिनियनेटेड वुमेन, पावरफुल वुमेन. Always I don't have a chance to have an opinion in this house.
Yeah.
So I remember that very clearly. So that was the environment I grew up in, you know, with lots of strong, powerful, opinionated women. And I think by default वो characteristics मुझ में भी आ गए.
वही ना, ऐसा होता है कि अगर आपके पास घर पे उदाहरण के नाम पे ऐसी औरतें होंगी तो आपका होगा. बट कई सारी स्ट्रॉन्ग मेल फिगर्स भी थी.
बिल्कुल, मेल फिगर्स जो बहुत बड़े फेमिनिस्ट हैं.
हाँ क्या?
Totally.
क्या बात है?
So this is the environment I've grown up in. And my father is the more traditional one out of my father and my mother. So just imagine.
Oh,
तो
wow. So
मेरी
then
फैमिली
तो-
सेटिंग ऐसी है. तो हाँ, लाइफ से ही आई थिंक बचपन से आई बीन ब्रॉट अप टू बी दिस पर्सन.
लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता था कि भाई को कुछ काम करना है या कोई गेस्ट आए तो आपने कुछ सर्व करना है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं?
हाँ, आई थिंक जनरली क्योंकि मैं ज़्यादा एक्सट्रोवर्टेड थी और मेरा भाई मुझसे छोटा है तो बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट और मैं ज़्यादा एंथू भी हूँ जनरली लाइफ में, तो आई थिंक I probably did more things, लेकिन not because मेल फीमेल का ऐसा कुछ.
हाँ, बस आप थी ऐसी.
हाँ.
आप मिलनसार हो, आप लोगों को पसंद करती हो
हाँ,
तो
तो जनरली ऐसे ही. हाँ. बट हाँ, एक चीज़ है, वन थिंग, कि जो कर्फ्यूज होते हैं वो हमारे लिए थोड़ा अलग था. या जितनी परेशान मेरी मम्मी होती थी जब मैं लेट रात को बाहर जाती थी और मैं टाइम से घर नहीं आती थी, वो ज़्यादा था इन माई केस.
कि आपको था वो रिस्ट्रिक्शंस थे.
हाँ, लेकिन मेरे भाई के साथ ऑफ कोर्स सेम रिस्ट्रिक्शंस तो थे, लेकिन अगर वो इधर उधर कर्फ्यू तोड़े या टाइम से वापस ना आए या यू नो बहुत ऑफन वो पार्टी करने बाहर जा रहा है तो इतना बड़ा इशू नहीं था. अगर मैं कर रही थी तो बहुत बड़ा इशू था, लेकिन मैं भी रिबेलियस थी तो मैं लड़ूंगी अपने राइट्स के लिए, तो ऐसे ऐसे. बट आई थिंक दैट्स मोर बिकॉज जनरली एज एन एनवायरनमेंट कभी कभी एज अ वुमन थोड़ा और अनसेफ है by default, and that's not something to be argued with. Yeah.
यार आपने रिलेशनशिप्स को वैसे भी वर्क होते हुए देखा जैसे बाकी हाउसहोल्ड्स नहीं देखते हैं. उसकी वजह से आपकी रिलेशनशिप्स में कभी कुछ इम्पैक्ट है, द वे यू अप्रोच रिलेशनशिप चेंज हुआ क्या?
You mean because I come from parents that are divorced that are very friendly?
Yeah.
हाँ, मैं सारे exes के साथ very good friends who there's no bad blood anywhere, you know. It's like thanks for the great times and the great memories, and you know that vibe I've learned from my family very nicely. Not only that, even in a relationship I expect the same, you know, कि open communication होना चाहिए. अगर एक relationship में कोई मुझसे कहे कि तुम ये नहीं कर सकती हो या ये नहीं पहन सकती हो, I am like, who are you to tell me? My mother father have not told me this till today. You know, so the tolerance for a lot of things also goes down because suddenly you know who you are, you're confident in who you are because you've been allowed to be that, and you own it.
Yeah.
So I think it helps you form much healthier relationships in a lot of ways, क्योंकि वो जो complication है, वो जो secrecy है, वो जो ineffective communication जो होता है बहुत बार relationship में, वो नहीं है. क्लियर कम्युनिकेशन बहुत इफेक्टिवली हो जाता है. अगर कम्युनिकेशन क्लियर है सब कुछ ठीक है.
एकदम मेरा ये गो टू स्टेटमेंट है बॉस. हम लोग टू माय वाइफ एंड शी वाज माय गर्लफ्रेंड आई टोल्ड हर दिस फर्स्ट लाइन आई सेड इफ कम्युनिकेशन इज सॉर्टेड कम्युनिकेशन इज कि आप सॉर्ट हो.
Correct.
एंड इट अप्लाइज टू सेट्स आल्सो जिस तरीके से हम काम करते हैं. अगर सब लोग एक दूसरे की बात बता देंगे
करेक्ट
कि क्यों फक अप हुआ है तो सब सेट रहेगा.
और एक अच्छे मैनर में.
हाँ समझती है ना पब्लिक कि अच्छा ठीक है भाई फिर I'll give you cut you some slack.
करेक्ट.
सही है यार. तो आपको नहीं मिल रही है शादी कब कर रही हो वाले ताने?
बिल्कुल नहीं. इनफैक्ट मुझे मिल रहा है कि दिस इज स्टैंडर्ड लाइन. इफ यू गेट मैरिड बिफोर 30 आई विल नॉट अटेंड योर वेडिंग.
नाइस.
इट वाज पॉइंट क्या है एक्चुअली. मेरे मम्मी और पापा दोनों ने मुझसे ये कहा था कि एंड इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट फॉर एवरीवन आउट देयर. बिटवीन द एजेस ऑफ 20 and 30 everyone is discovering themselves and changing every day, every year. If you get married when you're 20, in your 20s, by the time you're in your 30s you're a totally different person. It's not that your love in your 20s wasn't valid, but not everyone has the ability when you're growing into two different people to grow together.
Correct.
You know, and when you're in your 30s you have a more solid understanding of who you are. Of course we keep changing as people,
But you have some base ground understanding.
yeah, the part between 20 and 30s when everyone's trying to figure their careers, life, perspective,
Ambitions,
everything
what they want
out.
to do
Yeah.
also sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Or even their viewpoint on life. You know, it's one of the first few times in life where they're actually having to think for themselves wholly. They're in workplaces, they're in all of that. So, learning how to run a family, take responsibility, you know, just generally take responsibility.
वो सही है जैसा होना चाहिए वैसे ही सही है. यार there has been instances where you've spoken about beauty standards or the way you are. I think there's a beautiful incident with your niece, was it?
No, with my cousin sister. I know what you're talking about.
हाँ क्या हुआ था सीन?
तो मेरी कजन सिस्टर उस टाइम पे बहुत ही ज़्यादा यंग थी. आई थिंक शी वाज
6-8 साल टाइप्स.
हाँ अराउंड दैट. हम दोनों मेरे पापा के घर पे बैठ रहे थे एंड शी लुक्ड एट मी एंड शी वाज लाइक यू आर सो प्रिटी, आई एम सो अगली. आई वाज लाइक हैं? लाइक द 7-8 year old is saying I am ugly, like that she's ugly. I was like what? I was like why would you say that? And she was like because I am, just look at you. I was like one second. I said what do you think about me is pretty right now? She said, look at your skin. I said, one second. Makeup. All of this is makeup. I said, see my little pimples that are coming here and here and here. See my these dots here and here and here. See, I have these dark circles here. She's like, no, but look at your hair. Look at my hair. Her hair was like short at that time and she wanted it to be long. And I was like, one second. Clip. I was like, extension. That time I used to really wear lots of extensions. My hair was really bad also at that point. And she was like, but like leave all of that. She was like, just your clothes are so nice. I said, one second. I said, look, all cheap stuff. I said, my top is this one, this one, yeah, this is my friends, this is my whatever. And everything, I like broke it down for her. I was like, all these clothes you want, nothing is expensive. Like go, it's like, you know. And I gave her this whole lowdown on everything.
This truth is also a part of how feminism works or how you are owning yourself, right?
Totally.
वही है ना. कहाँ से लेकिन ये आया ड्राइव कि भाई मुझे recognize करना है कि मैं कौन है. ये कहाँ से आया? Do you remember a phase or a time in life where was there a defining moment or was it a phase?
I think I was always this
flag bearer.
In fact, I've calmed down over the years. मैं actually start में मैं हाँ क्योंकि शुरू में ना मैं तो वो जो you know I felt like there was always a झंडा in my hand that I'm running with to say क्या बोला, you know, it was like this. It was more like you know always.
It's also the teenage rebel, yeah, that phase.
It was always like कि क्या बोला अभी मैं लड़ने आ रही हूँ, you know, it was more that vibe. अभी ऐसा बन गया है कि क्या बोला, let's have a conversation. आप मुझे बताइए आपको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है और मैं आपको बताती हूँ मुझे ऐसा क्यों नहीं लग रहा है और मुझे क्यों लग रहा है कि आप गलत हो इस मामले में और आप मुझे अपना ओपिनियन दो. It's more that now.
हुआ क्या कुछ ऐसा मतलब like
when you enter a restaurant with you and a woman or whoever, good evening sir, that's it, you walk in. What happened to ma'am did not get a good evening when you walked through the door or like you know
I just played back the last 3 times we walked into a restaurant, you're right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Hello sir, there's no hello ma'am. You know, never. Okay,
maybe one or two places.
One or two places, but I'm saying majority of the places it's hello sir, good evening sir, whatever.
Yeah, the bill comes to me.
Bill comes to you directly. And I remember there is one place, since we're on the male feminist, I'll tell you this story. मैं अपने भाई के साथ गई थी, मेरा एक बचपन का दोस्त है उसके साथ, एक और लड़की थी मेरी दोस्त और मैं. They were deciding what they wanted to eat and drink and all that, लेकिन मैंने decide कर लिया था. तो I'm telling the waiter, I'm like, excuse me, I'll have a red wine and something. And I'm not seeing him write it down. So I thought शायद memorize कर रहा है ये वो. So I'm like, okay, कुछ नहीं कहा. So then he took down everyone's orders. That वो लड़की कुछ खा नहीं रही थी. So she didn't land up placing an order, okay? And both of them ordered something. And I'm like, oh, and my red wine and my whatever food I was eating. He's looking at my brother. And both the guys are saying, I'm saying, hello, did you hear me? I said, I'll have my. He's looking at me, he's looking back. I'm like confused. My brother's also confused now. I'm looking at my brother. I'm like, is he taking my order? Like, what's happening? Because he's just awkwardly giving these looks and it's loud. So I'm like, maybe he's not hearing me. He looks at my brother and he's like, is that okay?
What the fuck?
So my brother's like, my brother's confused. My brother's like, yeah, give her what she wants. My brother's confused as hell. क्योंकि ओमान ने ऐसी चीज़ों को एक्सपीरियंस नहीं किया. You know, he's also confused कि ऐसा मुझे क्यों पूछ रहा है. You know, मैं भी इरिटेट हो रही हूँ. मेरा दोस्त भी जो दूसरा लड़का था वो भी ऐसे देख रहा है कि वो थोड़ा समझ गया क्या हो रहा है. I looked at him and I said, listen, buddy. I said, the bill that's going to be paid on this table is paid by me. The tip that you're going to get is also going to be paid by me. Next time if they want food, ask me. So
yeah,
I was like, what is this nonsense? I was like, you get me this or you get me a new server. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And then he was like, then he wrote it. I'm like,
yeah, one more thing. You've always had the female friendships and the female, the core strength. So how can women be better for women?
You know, when women stick together, there is absolutely nothing more powerful than that. And I mean this with every ounce of my being. All my best friends, most of my best friends in life actually, have always been women. I've had lovely male friends also. But there's just this certain understanding and bond that comes in when women stick together. And you know, if you take a look at it, men are so great at being friends with each other.
Yeah.
So great at supporting each other and being bros and having their
bromance.
thing and doing all of that. Whereas women are sort of conditioned to compete with each other and be catty with each other and pitted against each other, you know, in terms of narratives that you see in the media, in terms of things that you're
or not have the same dress or bag at the party.
Yeah, just so many things, you know, we're just naturally taught to be competitive and catty with each other. Inherently, for a very long time, not, you know, and the second we realize that when we stick together, we are so powerful. And when we start sticking together really properly, there is nothing that can faze us.
Super. 100%. There's something that I know about you that my producers also pointed out. She said that you're super comfy in your body. And behind camera, I was appreciating this woman for her bikini looks.
Thanks.
Out of this world. Kaise hua ye? How did you get so comfy with your body or yourself or everything else?
How do I even, it's been such a long journey, I don't even know how to concise it into this.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can just give me highlights.
Yeah.
Were you ever conscious of your body and like?
Of course.
Yeah, you looked into the mirror and.
Of course, no. It was just I think it was a whole phase where I was really not at ease with myself, whether it was my body, whether it was anything and everything. From a very, very dark time in my life came something really beautiful, where I was at a really shitty point in my life, and I remember just saying, I'm done with this. I just want to be happy now. I said, I'm just done. And on that journey to become happy, I realized that the most effective way to really calm your worries and nerves and anxieties and, you know, channel more happiness and feel more productive and all of that, the most effective way, and I say this in every interview and I'll continue to say it in every other one whenever the opportunity arises, is you have to be your own best friend. And I'll say this over and over again because I think every time 10 more people will hear it, and every time it's the most important advice I can give any woman, man, child, teenager, you know, senior citizen, anyone. Be your own best friend, because, you know, if you have someone you really care about, imagine you have someone you really care about. If someone looks at that person and says, yuck, you're looking so fat, you're going to turn around and be like, you don't talk to this person that way. You know, you don't talk to this person that way. This is someone I care about. You need to be that person for yourself.
Yeah.
So suddenly when you look in the mirror and you say, you're so fat, you're going to tell yourself off. You're going to be like, stop it. We don't talk to ourselves that way. You know, we don't talk to our body that way. And you immediately start doing these things to correct the way you talk to yourself, because suddenly you love yourself. And suddenly you really care for yourself. And you don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to say cruel things to yourself. You want to love yourself.
So you're fighting for your own mind. You're fighting with your own mind.
own mind. You start to realize how incredible you are.
Also, how you've made this a superpower of yours now.
Yeah.
The thing that you hated is now a superpower.
Totally. And you
और
can
क्या
do that
चाहिए?
with every part of your body and every part of your personality. And when you are able to do that, you're able to really keep yourself in check. When you're saying the wrong things to other people, when you're saying the wrong things to yourself, when you're feeling the right things, you get to celebrate it with yourself, you know. It's a wonderful equation. Be your own best friend.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And like, it's okay to find yourself, take your time and
Totally.
do the things that you want to do. I'll skip that 1 or 2 questions and हम लोग फिर से मिलेंगे because you're doing so much work.
Yes.
But are you a feminist?
I'm a huge feminist. I think anyone that says that they're not a feminist doesn't understand the concept of feminism wholly. Especially if you're a woman that's a strong woman and an independent woman and you say you're not a feminist, you don't really know what feminism means. Because if you did, you would be a feminist.
100%.
Yeah.
What is the message to the 16-year-old self that you would like to give?
I love you. You'll be just fine and all better. Just keep loving yourself.
Nice. Very cool. What should men stop telling women?
How to do things. Yeah.
That's more or less it.
If we need help, we'll ask.
Super.
Yeah.
And how can men be better allies?
By being more vocal.
Yeah.
Especially with your bros. If your bros say something that like, you just want to laugh it off because like, you don't want to like,
because
say
you want to be
something.
part of the...
Yeah. Sometimes it's important to just say, hey, actually I don't think that's cool.
Super point, yeah. Thank you so much for saying that. I've been that guy and I've been the douche and I'm just like,
Yeah,
bro.
because sometimes it's like, yeah, now why? And a lot of the time the other men might feel similarly also, but they're feeling just as awkward. Like,
Yeah. Like I still put my point across and say, boss, husband-wife jokes अपने को नहीं जमते, हम नहीं करते.
Correct.
And then they're like, fuck, ये क्या बोला? हंसा क्यों नहीं है?
Yeah.
Super. Works very well. Who do you think we should have more on the show on the Male Feminist?
Sonam Kapoor. I think she's someone that really empowers and supports other women and always raises her voice for things that are related to women and their rights and all of that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All the best for your movie.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. This is the Male Feminist signing off. Sid.